Well, hello, folks, and happy Canada Day. As you can see, I am currently wearing purple. That has remarkably little to do with anything. Though as far as wearing flag colors go, our good buddy Shy Guy has got you covered. He's got the red, he's got the white, and he's also got the blue, so a couple days on the 4th, he'll be all set for that too. Either way, we're going to be ranking another Game Boy puzzle game. Today, as you can see, we have got 68 games on the list. We're going to be adding a new one today, and that game is called Koiwa Kakehiki. And, interesting game. I tested it a little bit. I kind of have some thoughts already. I don't know where this is going to land, but I've got sort of an idea of like a starting point. But that's not important. We might as well just jump into it here. Let's get this all... Remember which button does what. Okay. Your good buds at Pony Canyon. Button shift... I don't know what S speed means. Let's just leave button shift, key shift. Let's not worry about that too much. Okay. Configuration 2. Target select. Who do we want to target? Level select, easy, normal, hard. Go easy. Okay, so the basic gist of the game here is we have this checkerboard pattern, but we can kind of shift like that. And so basically what we're trying to do is to create a path from our character to the potential love interest, essentially. But on top of that, we're also trying to prevent the other player from doing so. So I think, like, if I choose, say, this tile right here, I don't know. And so I think the other character is trying to sort of do the same thing, but sort of for their own... And I don't know what that means, but it's my turn. I think I can... Oh, no, that's gonna take 2 moves. Oh, I get 2 moves. Didn't matter. And that's a game over. So what's key shift do? I'm going to set the other target, I guess. Level select, easy. Okay, this is not working at all. I don't... Oh, this is... yeah. Oh, this is... No, this is a terrible... We need to go back to the other way as soon as possible. We're playing on easy. Okay, set that to button shift. Button shift makes a whole lot more sense. I don't know what S speed means. Let me put that to low. Oh, that's all that means. Okay. Yeah, medium's probably fine. Okay, do I get another turn? No? I do have to admit, this would be a little more predictable if I knew what the power-ups were called. Do I get 2 turns now? Now that I really can't take advantage of it? I actually did it. So, yeah, so create a path. Okay. Easy level, round 1 clear, go, go. Now here's round 2. Rest turn 400. Okay. So I guess this means that if you don't clear it in, what, 400 turns, the game just ends? I guess they'd probably consider that a stalemate. I'll leave that on mid, that's fine. Button shift is the better way to do it. Yeah, pretty good music. That has been a challenge for some games on this. They've had somewhat annoying... It's like if we play this on normal, what's the difference? Rest turn 200. Okay, so what if we play this on hard? 100, okay. I'm not sure the difficulty matters that much. At least not in comparison to just how... Well, I mean, I know part of it is that I am not playing very well. But I'm not entirely convinced that having less turns is necessarily making the game harder. Unless maybe the difficulty level is also affecting, like, sort of how well the CPU plays? I guess it's not impossible. No, difficulty, to me, the difficulty seems to be about the same. Let me play it again on hard, just to be sure. Okay, so if I get 2 turns, I'll use one of them to do this, and then... oh crap. That's me being stupid again. And that's me forgetting that the other player got to have a turn. And you can see kind of stopping to think when it looks like I'm about to... Maybe that is a higher difficulty thing, that it considers its moves a little more carefully. Okay, so maybe there's something to that as well, that when you play on the higher difficulty, the computer thinks a little harder when you're about to win a match. Not that it matters that much for as kind of poorly as I'm playing. But yeah, I think the implication there is that the higher difficulty opponent wouldn't have made that particular mistake. Gosh. That move is just not allowed anymore? Oh, it is now. No, it's doing the thinking thing. Oh, maybe it doesn't let you immediately take back whatever the previous move was. Alright, that makes sense. Ah, crap. Oops. Bring that down a little, it's getting a bit repetitive. I would like to think of more things to say about this. The bigger challenge is, like, just honestly, I'm kind of struggling to keep up with this game. And it's like every now and then the AI makes, like, an obvious mistake. Easy level clear. Challenge next level normal. Okay. Okay, so I get 2 turns. I just need to make this count. There we go. One thing I will say that is kind of factoring into my my thoughts on this is that I thought this game had a 2-player mode. And honestly, like, the lack of a 2-player mode is kind of messing this up for me. Oh, no matter what I do, it's going to be 2 moves away. So let's just do something else. I think the presentation is kind of cute. Normal level clear. Challenge next level hard. Okay. I guess we're suddenly on a roll in this. Yeah, and so now we're back to hard, so you can kind of... You notice those pauses are showing up a little more frequently. You know, it's obviously the game trying to come up with the sort of optimal move to block our path here. You lose once and it's game over. If I copy all of its moves. Okay, the copy all its moves trick just worked that one time. Ah. So I'm just gonna throw it out there that we're probably not going to see what happens when you clear hard mode. Not unless we get real lucky with these miss-a-turn power-ups. Let's just bump it back down. I don't have particularly ambitious hopes for our prospects at this. I don't think I can do much with the extra turn here. Let's do that, I guess. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with this game. I just have to admit, after playing it for 30 minutes, I'm already kinda bored. Move this over. Okay, somehow the game made that move for me? Alright. Somebody wants to go back and watch through this, watch through the VOD of this and just see how many times the game over screen has come up. Okay, I think I can capitalize on that. Okay, so just making the same move over and over again does eventually backfire. Did the other player stop getting their turn? I don't know, I couldn't quite keep up with what all was happening there. Maybe you're starting to understand why the game gives you 400 turns. And then there's all of 3 stages before they want you to bump up the difficulty. As far as I know, that would seem to imply that... Oops. That would seem to imply that there are only 9 stages in the game. Unless there's a secret unlockable difficulty. Somehow I doubt that. Yeah, I guess... they figured that, like, the very concept of the game provides so much kind of complexity that maybe you just, you know, you don't have to worry about having a lot of content because all the depth comes from the strategy. but I'm not really sure. I mean, there obviously is a way to strategize in this game, but I think it just takes a certain kind of mindset to sort of master the art of, you know, planning moves ahead. So like right now, like even in a situation like that where, like, yeah, I'm playing on the easiest level and just got a pretty decisive victory, an element of that was still just kind of guessing, to be 100% honest. Like, so it just kind of feels like I'm either walking into an accidental victory or walking into making a mistake that causes me to lose. Like, I really don't feel like I'm necessarily... I don't feel like I'm in control of the outcome so much as I'm just making things happen and hoping for the best. And yeah, and then just when I'm lucky, the computer messes up and I can do that. I didn't plan that move. It just sort of happened because, I guess, the other guy overlooked it. Yeah, so it's gonna take at least 3 moves to get a clear path. Computer also seems reluctant to take the win on an extra turn. Just something I noticed. Ugh. And there, the computer got a free turn and just handed me a win. Which kind of throws one of my other complaints into chaos here, because well, I played that for as long as I promised to. So, let us please, please, please stop. Okay. So, I'm gonna start by telling you what I was thinking before coming back to this game. Which is, simply put, this would be a perfectly fine two-player game. Now, from what I can tell, there doesn't appear to be a two-player option, and that's strange, because two-player would fix a lot of the problem, provided you find another person who wants to play this with you. I mean, it's turn-based. You could, in theory, you'd have to do it on the honor system, but you could pass and play this. You wouldn't even need a second copy of the game. And that's kind of the best case scenario for it. And in that situation, I would have made the argument, if I can find it on here. I suddenly don't know where it is. I'm just here it is. Spot the video game. I would have put this kind of in the same place as Spot, because that's another game where playing against the computer is maybe not the most exciting thing, but as a multiplayer game, it's fun. I don't remember if did the Game Boy version of Spot have multiplayer? I think it did. I'm going to very quickly have a look at this. So, RS. I know, you just see my face while I'm looking at the screen here. A whole lot of legal text because, 7-Up. Yeah, can't skip any of that. Need to know who owns the Spot. Let's see. Options. Yeah, okay, maybe this doesn't have multiplayer either. I don't remember. NES game does. And if there are versions of Koiwa Kakehiki on other systems, I would assume those ones probably have some kind of multiplayer, because honestly, that's the only way I see this game being any fun, is playing it with another person. Because you run into the chess problem. And this game is by no means as complex as chess. But the chess problem ultimately is that, a computer that can analyze a lot of moves and sort of kind of try to predict what move you're going to... computers are really good at playing chess defensively. They're really good at finding the move that gives you no advantage whatsoever. And I I don't... That's really the main point that I'm trying to make, is that this game, similarly, it's a much simpler game, but that ends up working against it because that simplicity means that it is trivial for the computer to just play defensively for as long as it has to for you to make a mistake. And, you know, like the computer is clearly making mistakes on purpose on easy. I don't know what the situation is on normal. On hard, it does seem to, you'll notice it takes a little longer to make its move sometimes. And I think that's, you know, like trying to make sort of the optimal play that just prevents you from making progress, because that's kind of all the game has to do. You will eventually make a mistake before it does, unless you play on the lower difficulties where it just makes mistakes for the sake of it, you know, or it's just forcing a move before it's had a chance to analyze the whole board, or however they're doing that, if they just program it to get things wrong sometimes, or... And it just ends up being a very insubstantial game. There's really just the kind of the one gameplay mode, and there's just the one... There's like 9 stages. You know, you play it on easy, you win 3 times in a row, it just bumps you up to normal. You win 3 times in a row on normal, it just bumps you up to hard. I don't know if anything happens after you win 3 times on hard, if it just rolls credits or what. But there's not a lot here, and every now and then, you know, there's the, like, you'll have to lose a turn. There's those little icons, those icons that sort of pop up on the map that say, hi, lose your turn. I'm not 100% sure how those are determined. You make the same move 3 times in a row, and on the 3rd time it reveals one of those cards, and you miss a turn, and I just... But the game isn't inherently bad, necessarily. And I do think you could do something with this. Again, the thing that would make this game is multiplayer. Like, just full stop. If this had multiplayer, it would be a game I would recommend. I'd say, like, hey, you know, you play that. You can even... It's turn-based. You could even play this online. I remember Smite on his channel set up a spot tournament. You know, people would just call their moves in chat, and he would do them. And you could do the same thing here if this game had multiplayer. But it doesn't. And playing against the computer is no fun. But outside of that, it's fine. The core game is fine. Like, it's not broken. It's just, it's just lacking. It's just lacking stuff. So, I don't know. It's not as good as Spot the video game. Spot has similar problems, but is a more playable game. Is it better or worse than Cool Ball? I mean, that ball is pretty cool. You gotta give it that. I don't know that it's... With a few tweaks, this would be better than Cool Ball. But it is better than the fidgets. I will say that. It is not as, like, fundamentally busted as, like, the physic, or as the fidgets, or, you know, like Square Deal or Koro Dice, or any, like, the really low stuff here. But I don't think I don't think it's as good as Cool Ball. So we're gonna put this here. And then I have to remember how to spell that. Koiwa Kakehiki. So congratulations to Koiwa Kakehiki. And once again, happy Canada Day. And that's going to be me for this evening. I'll be back tomorrow night with live improvised music. I'll be back on Saturday with music production, and be starting a new game on Monday, as well as playing some more Adventure Island. And, Etrian Odyssey, we'll finally get back to that again on Tuesday. Missed another week of that. And then this time next week, it is going to be game number 70, and so, as per tradition, we're going to play something that I'm confident will do a little better on this list. I don't know if this is going to be a sure thing, but this is a game I've enjoyed on other platforms. It's called Pack Attack. That's what we're going to be playing this time next week. So, until then, thanks for watching. And as always, I do hope to see you next time. So bye for now.